welcome back to Everything Hollywood podcast with my friend Larry Namer. Hello, Larry.
Hey, good to be here. I was away last week. I was had a few things to go to. I went to Prosperity Camp in Carlsbad with Greg Reed, who does all these self-help books and author. And then I went to the the La Jolla International Fashion and Film Festival, where I'm a judge and a presenter. So it was a good week and stuff, but it's been a busy week in the media world. God, I mean, there's so much stuff going on.
I know, and especially with the Olympics. I think a lot of people are watching the Olympics, and I wanted to bring up Simone Biles. You know, she withdrew from competing, which was really surprising to a lot of people because I think the whole world was looking into her performing and maybe outperforming her last performance. So what happened there, Larry?
Yeah, it's, I've got some pretty strong feelings about this because first, I think no matter how many people want to deny it, there are a lot of haters out there. And I think a lot of it has to do with race, quite honestly. I think if this was a white girl, I don't think you'd have the kind of controversy you have. But Simone Biles revolutionized the sport. I mean, she was amazing. She took that sport to another level. She got people like me who don't like to watch gymnastics to watch it because I was just amazed by her and stuff. And she's this little dynamo, and she stayed with it, and she came back. I mean, at the ripe old age of 24, she was back in the Olympics. But she's had a lot of problems and stuff. And Olympics is incredibly hard on your body and your mind. And the Olympic Committee did this crazy thing where they were like changing the rules of how they score because she's too good. And I'm going, that's like crazy. It's like a swimmer. It's like, with Phelps saying, all right, we're adding 10 seconds onto your swim team because you're a good swimmer.
Yeah.
It's just BS. It was horrible what they did. And she just didn't feel like she was mentally prepared or physically prepared to compete. And plus, if she competed at less than her true level, it would have denied another girl who would be like a substitute the opportunity to be in the Olympics. And I think she did an incredibly honorable thing. She said, I'm not ready. I'll step aside so somebody else could have the experience of being in the Olympics and stuff. And just, all the haters came out, and, she's a quitter, she's this and that. It's just I feel really bad for her because she's an unbelievable athlete and she's an unbelievable person. I mean, I've seen interviews with her. She's truly amazing, and she's done for that sport what nobody else has ever been able to do.
I think that was very honorable what she did, trying to get one of her teammates to step forward to do this. So, yeah, that was certainly very interesting. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, let's talk a little bit more about the Olympics.
Will do.
Start it up.
Welcome back to the podcast. We're talking about the Olympics right now, but one thing I wanted to mention to you, Larry, is I've been hearing a lot about the Norwegian team. the volleyball team where they actually make girls wear bikini bottoms. And I think this team refused to wear bikini bottoms, and I think they were penalized and they were actually fined. So have you heard about it, and what do you think?
Yeah, I've heard about it. And again, you always hope, and I kind of go through this with the Emmy Awards and the Academy Awards. And, I look at it and go, I hope these old-fashioned people just get out of the way and let these things come into the modern world the way they should. I mean, here you are taking these girls, mostly teenagers, and you're sexualizing them in the sport. I mean, it's just wrong. So they wore shorts instead of bikini bottoms. I mean, big deal. But, on the media side of it, so here they are, the whole Norwegian team does this, and the Olympic Committee decides they're going to fine them and stuff, which is horrible. These are like kids. Where are they going to get the money? They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to perform, their sports for money, so they don't have jobs. But much to her credit, the singer Pink came up and stepped up and said, "You know what?
Yeah, that's
This
right.
is BS.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay everybody's fine."
Yeah.
Which I just think is amazing. I mean, good for Pink.
Yeah, I mean that was really interesting, and it made world, front page news. But I believe that wasn't it the president, even the president of the country, I think she was saying that this is not fair, and that the committee shouldn't be involved in this, and let the teams decide. Especially for guys, they're able to wear shorts, like
Yeah.
so.
I mean, the whole thing is it's not a sex show. This is a sport.
Yeah.
They should wear what's comfortable and appropriate for the sport. And if they feel like wearing bikini bottoms, great. If they feel like wearing shorts, great. If they want to wear stretch pants, great. It shouldn't be the concern of the Olympic Committee. Now, if they were wearing something outrageous and, was detrimental to the image of the Olympics, it's one thing. But to say that wearing shorts in a volleyball game is not appropriate is just, like I say, coming to the modern age.
Yeah, and I'm glad that this is coming to the surface now, and it's finally getting some attention. So I think they're making some changes. I believe the Olympic Committee has mentioned that they will be making some changes after this.
Yeah, and I think, here's a great example of how social media on a global level could be used to promote change. I mean, in the old days, you just would have got a little report on NBC or ABC or whatever thing is covering it. But, you have the entire world, via social media is up in arms and just saying, hey, this is wrong. It doesn't make sense that you should fine these gals for something like this.
Very interesting. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, let's talk about a big news that is coming out of Hollywood that has to do with a big Hollywood star in Disney. So we'll be right back.
Cause I had no idea. I feel like I did too much. I feel like I did too much. Let's get all yeah, I need all I feel like I did too much. I feel like I did too much. Yeah, let's party yeah, I need all
What's up? It's Omar Akram here, and we're launching Masa with Fanvestor to offer a limited edition, perks, products, and experience to my fans.
I let little shawty come here and take your place.
Welcome back to the podcast. Larry, big news today. Scarlett Johansson, huge star, is suing Disney. And that's been a bit of a shocker because I didn't really expect to see that. And for a star to go against her studio, that they're actually putting out her movie is rare. So what's going on?
Well, she's starring in the Black Widow film, and Disney decided that they were going to put it out in the theater and put it online, from in the same at the same time. And, throughout the history of particularly the last 20 years, it's been so much new technology that it takes a little bit of time for talent contracts and guild agreements to kind of catch up with where technology is. So here you have, she does a deal to be in this movie, and her compensation is tied to the theatrical box office revenue. So every time somebody buys a ticket to go to the movie theater, she gets a little slice of that money. So now by putting it on Disney Plus, and it's not in her contract that she gets any of the revenue there. So the people that are staying home that might have gone to the movies are watching it there and paying for it, and Disney's keeping all the money, and she gets none. Now, she's suing rightfully. I think Disney knew what they were going to be doing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was an accident or a last minute decision to do it, but So it deprives her of revenue. She's suing for it. It'd be interesting to see the way the courts um, deal with it and stuff. But I can guarantee you this: going forward, every major star that's going to be doing contracts is going to be thinking about how these new technologies will impact their contracts and their revenue and stuff. And Scarlett is a great actress. I mean, she was actually we had a few weeks ago. We had Bobby Chance on,
Yeah.
the acting coach, and Scarlett was one of her early students and stuff like that. And next time we have Bobby, and we should ask Bobby what she thinks.
But,
There,
yeah, Larry, but let me ask you something. This is creating actually bad publicity for Disney because they are in the midst of, like, we're I heard about it today. I was reading about it this morning, and a lot of people are talking about it. Why do you think a studio, especially Disney, that they're so concerned with their image, right? Why would they do such thing? Do you think there's you don't think it was an accident? You think it was done?
I don't. I know. I don't think it's an accident. I
Yeah.
think somebody in the business affairs thing, it was going, hey, we're probably going to release this simultaneously on TV, and her contract doesn't provide her from getting any revenue. Whoopee, and
Okay.
like, ooh, we got over on her. And she's right. Don't let them get away with it, and it'll force all the studios to recognize that if they're making money off of a talent, and that's from actors to writers, whatever. I mean, there's a pot of money that comes from all this intellectual property, and rightfully these people should be able to share in that in that revenue stream.
Yeah, honestly, I was really confused when I saw that why Disney would do such thing. But yeah, I agree. We're interested to see how this is going to unfold. I bet you they're going to settle out of court,
Oh yeah, I'm
right?
sure. I mean, it doesn't serve anybody good. I mean, I don't think somebody at Scarlett's level wants to go through with a lawsuit against a major studio, um, and I don't think it serves Disney very well to be seen as a place that went from Mickey Mouse to now we exploit talent.
Yeah.
If if the world is moving to things where it's simultaneous release on television stuff, which with COVID, it's gonna move that way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
let the artists get their fair share. I mean, so instead of making 10 billion next year, Disney will make 9.5 billion. Big deal.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this is going to unfold. But pretty big news. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, something really interesting about a TikTok.
Yeah, there's
Let's not give it away.
yeah, but
Let's
it's
not.
kind of revolutionized the music marketing
Yeah.
world. Well,
Yeah.
let's
Let's
get to
talk
it when we
about
come
it
back.
when we come back.
The reason why I created Hair Dope is because hair colors are popping everywhere. A lot of people, your favorite rappers, your favorite singers, your favorite artists, whoever, they're dyeing their hair, they're doing things like that, and this is a world full of color. So I feel like I want to feel like everyone can express themselves through my color. Well, to me, the importance of entrepreneurship is having a career that's longevity. A lot of people jump into the game and into careers of being an entrepreneur and not having longevity in what they're doing. So that's what I really feel like. You have to put your all into it. It has to be from the heart. You have to have longevity. You have to be able to stay in and stay active.
Welcome back to the podcast. Larry, I want to ask you about Greta Van Fleet. Okay, so they are making a lot of noise on TikTok, and I wasn't aware of them before, but Jonny, our studio manager, and everybody's talking about them. And can you tell me what's going on and what's so special what they're doing?
Yeah, it's actually amazing. I mean, it really does show the power of social media on a global scale. I mean, here you've had this band. It's been around for a while. I've actually known them because I like their music. They're a rock band, kind of like a '70s throwback band. They're not a cover band. They're not covering old music,
Okay.
but their sound is very '70s rock and roll. And a lot of people kind of say they remind them of Led Zeppelin and stuff. But they come out of Detroit, and nobody really knew who they were outside of the area. And then somebody on their marketing team um, came up with this unbelievably brilliant idea, way of marketing them. And I'm always amazed when somebody comes out with some incredible marketing thing. So they took a clip of the band doing a Saturday Night Live performance, and they did Saturday Night Live. They didn't get a lot of.
But this was real. This was
Oh,
them
yeah.
performing, doing
But
the Saturday
then somebody
Night Live.
took a clip of the lead singer, who's got amazing facial expressions
Okay.
and stuff. And to me, he sounds like Robert Plant. And stuff. And actually, Robert Plant actually saw the clip and
Really?
kind of confirmed it. So the lead singer's name is Josh Kiska, and but you now have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of people using a split screen. So they have Josh on one side singing the Saturday Night Live performance, and then kind of miming his performance. So you have everything from people doing it, people having their animals doing it. I saw a really, really good one where somebody dressed like a clown doing it, and it's just unbelievably entertaining. The words from all over TikTok. I mean, you can't go on TikTok without, seeing something with the band coming up every 5 minutes, and the words are like humming in my head. I can't go to sleep without Greta Van Fleet there. Brilliant marketing. Shows the power that really good social media marketing can have and stuff like that. So it really does show that back in the old days you needed a record company.
Yeah.
And you pretty much had to. Well, you're a musician. You've had to sell your soul to the record company because without them you had no way of reaching an audience.
Yeah.
Now, with all this, between Netflix specials and TikToks and Instagrams and all of this stuff, if you're good, and I think Greta Van Fleet is really good, you could reach an audience and you could build yourself as a brand without having to have or lessening the leverage that a record company might have on you.
But they probably had a record company. I mean, if they're performing on Saturday Night Live, I mean, that's pretty, up there. That's a, major, network show.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you don't need record companies anymore. But it used to be you could not be a performer without a record company.
Right.
And the record company knew it. So, they'd say to you, Omar, we really love you, but we'll take your marketing rights and your publishing rights and your merch rights.
Right.
And, all of that. You've now changed it. So with a group like this, I mean, next time they do a record industry, contract, they've changed the leverage and said, hey, listen, we've got, millions of people, followers now and stuff, and we'll make a fair deal, but we're not going to do a giveaway deal.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think it started? I mean, do you think it was by accident that this whole thing came about? Or, I mean, how, or you think somebody actually thought of this? How is that? Because stuff like that takes time to catch on, but what do you think? How do you think this came about?
My opinion is this is brilliant marketing. Somebody came up with this. I think it probably way exceeded anything they ever imagined. Yeah, I mean, literally, there are thousands or tens of thousands of people who have kind of done their own version of the Josh Kiska face and the song and stuff like that. And it's just been too quick, too regular. And then all of a sudden, there's an interview with Robert Plant watching Josh sing. And, Robert Plant looks at it and says, oh, I really, really like him, but it reminds me of somebody. So a lot of stuff was like ready there, which leads me to believe this was something staged that they thought would be good, but I don't think they ever imagined it would blow up the way it did.
That's amazing and it didn't cost anything.
Didn't cost anything. And the other thing that's kind of interesting is the name Greta Van Fleet. You think it's a girl. There's no girl. I mean, it's a band of guys. And there's actually a singer in the Detroit area who did, I think it's some kind of ethnic music or whatever, whose name was Greta Van Fleet. And they used her name as the name of their band and stuff. Just, it's one of those great stories of talent rising above it all.
Yeah, I think so too. And like TikTok is so saturated with people, and everybody wants to go viral, right?
Yeah.
And to see a band who's talented and it was, well executed.
Yeah.
And apparently, even I just saw a TikTok with our studio manager Jonny. Even he did that.
Johnny did a Greta Van Fleet, and I think his dog is in the middle of doing one now, and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. And the thing is, it's fun. I mean, I watch them, and I'm not in that age. I'm not in the age group, but I watch it, and I said, this is really interesting, and this is fun, and it's exposing, talent to a world that normally would not necessarily have seen that talent.
And that shows you that you necessarily don't need millions of dollars to promote an artist. If you do stuff right,
Yeah.
if you do it, smartly. I mean, you have this huge platform like TikTok or like you mentioned, Instagram.
Yeah.
No,
and I think our next guest who's going to be coming on in a few minutes. She's an influencer, and as a musician, she's actually created her own music video. But it's a great music video because it's not just singing or dancing. There's a storyline behind it. It's very well done. Yeah. And I actually saw it. I was at the Fashion and Film Awards in La Jolla, and I saw it and won one of the awards and stuff. So, our next guest is going to have a lot to say about that because she's actually doing it. She's a major influencer now.
Sounds great. So we'll take a short break and we'll come back with our guest for today.
We're all fans of something or someone, investing our time and loyalty, but getting little in return. Well, it's about to change forever with Fanvestor, a platform that lets you get in on celebrity businesses early on, buy shares of their new startups, support a charity and new product drops, and share once-in-a-lifetime experiences with them.
What's up, it's Omar Akram here, and we're launching Masa with Fanvestor to offer a limited edition, perks, products, and experience to my fans.
Here's how it works. Go to fanvestor.com. Choose an opportunity you want to get in on. Click here and there, and you're done. Go check your email for the investor's certificate. And don't forget to check back often for updates on your new business investment. It's official now. Celebrate your support with an experience. Go 10 rounds in the gym with Amare. Get a matching tattoo with Super Dope Q. Or get on FaceTime and hang out by the pool with DJ Khaled. After all, you're more than a fan now. You're a Fanvestor.
Guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited to be introducing you to our next guest. And she is an amazing recording artist. But I'll have Larry give you guys a formal introduction. Larry?
Sure. I was down at the La Jolla International Fashion and Film Festival, and I had actually seen the clips before because I'm a judge, and I got to watch her film again, and it was kind of amazing. Glad that she could actually be up here and stuff. Why don't you tell us, how did you get that name?
Welcome to the show, first of all.
Yeah,
thank you so much for
Explain
being here.
Explain your name to everybody.
So my name is LA, Laura Paris, but LA, and I just took the name LA because for me it's where first I want to live in LA, and
nice.
it's like my goal to be in LA. and I'm called Laura, so for me it was like an evidence, I was searching for a name and just
there you go.
Yeah.
When was the first time you came to LA?
7 years ago, to La Jolla Fashion Film Festival.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, did you have an entry in the one, or
No,
you just came to visit?
Just came to visit, yeah.
Oh, and then it gave you the thought of making your own film and
Exactly.
stuff like that. Tell us a little bit about your film. Give us the background on it.
So I'm leaving right away. It's about my first group of friends in Paris. So they were all the time partying at the same apartment, and but they were taking a lot of drugs. Well, in Paris, there's people taking a lot of drugs. But okay,
So it was
but
in Los Angeles, right?
Not as bad as Paris.
yeah. And actually, they were cool, but in the same time, I noticed that I was like even drinking water and having more fun than them. So it's how I wrote "I'm leaving right away," and I just left right away. And this is the story about "I'm leaving right away."
You were
Uh,
having more fun drinking water
Yeah.
than what they
Okay.
were drinking. Okay,
Yeah, I
that's
was
awesome.
like, I was the only one dancing and being crazy, and yeah, and they were nearly sometimes fighting. Yeah.
All right. Well, other than making that film, what else is it that you've been doing in Paris? I mean, clearly you've learned how to dance somewhere and sing.
Yeah, so I've been like doing Bollywood dance. I did Bollywood dance for 4 years,
Oh wow.
and it's inspired me. Well, actually, I was looking at an American TV show where they were doing American Sign Language,
Okay.
and I noticed there were like kind of a similarity between Bollywood, from the gestural, like of the mudras and everything, and American Sign Language. And so I started translating all my songs into American Sign Language and adding those signs to my choreographies to like leave a meaning about like my music.
How interesting. Bollywood. You know, you wouldn't think that Bollywood is reaching Europe, but I mean, I love Bollywood movies. You know, I mean,
Yes.
from my background, but so just take us back a little bit. So when you were a child,
Yeah.
how old were you when you started to get interested in dancing or singing? Was there a specific age that you started? And if so, you took formal lessons or you just kind of did it as a hobby?
I first started dancing since ever. Like I was dancing
Yeah.
since I was on my feet. But I first started like around 4, taking ballet class, jazz, tap dance, hip hop, and and then I kind of stopped for a while. And a few years afterwards, I wanted to go back and do dance again. I was thinking of ballet, but I wanted something more like smooth, and it's why when I saw like a Bollywood movie, I was like, "Oh my god, I want to do like Bollywood and dance like them."
Okay. So you're primarily a dancer, would you
No,
say?
I'm a singer.
So you
Singer.
A
okay?
singer who dances.
Yeah,
So, but
exactly.
what at what age you started singing? Because you mentioned the dancing, but singing came naturally, or you
Yeah,
took lessons?
naturally. Yeah, I took lessons. I did many like shows when I was little, like musical shows, and but first of all, yeah, I started violin early. Well, I started violin when I was 5,
Oh
and
Wow.
wow,
then I discovered a piano, so I quit violin because
piano
I
is
love
awesome.
piano.
Let me tell you,
And
piano
but
is
I was
awesome.
doing more classical piano, so I went to an academy and studied classical music.
Now,
And
did you love it, or did mom make you do it?
I loved it.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did.
well, sometimes it was hard, and I'm so like thankful that she pushed me. Sometimes like continue, continue, and I was crying, but I finally it's so good.
I know the feeling. I know how that
It's
goes.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where are people going to? The movie that you made is really good. Where are people going to be able to see it? What's your plan for getting that in front of people?
For now it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
The video is on YouTube. We reached like 120K.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's very good.
that's good. We were just talking before you came in. We were talking about TikTok
Yeah.
and how this group, this rock group out of Detroit, blew up. I don't know if you've seen the Greta Van Fleet.
I know.
It's just amazing what's
Yeah.
happened to that group in like 2 weeks. It just came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. It just shows the power of these social media
Social
and the
media.
digital platforms and stuff. So you want to move to LA,
Yeah.
and why is that? Where do you want to go?
I don't know. I'm discovering LA for now, but I guess I don't know. Maybe like West Hollywood or something. But I don't know.
But in terms of career, so
I,
you
um,
want to be in front of the camera, behind the camera, both?
Oh, definitely in front, but I love like being also behind because I know really what I want and what I want. I have all the ideas, and I love like directing also my music videos. Yeah.
Sure.
I think one of the things also, Larry, with the power of, you just mentioned TikTok, with the power of social media, I think you can be anywhere in the world now
Yeah.
and be able to do like in the old days, you actually have to come to Los Angeles because you had the studios, you had to audition and be in front of certain people. But now, honestly, you could be anywhere in the world, like Mr. Beast, where he lives, or all these guys, they are all over the world, but they're able to make on, let's say, on YouTube or whatever. So I mean, it's a great goal that you want to come to Los Angeles, but really being in Los Angeles is not necessarily. I mean, unless you love the city,
Oh yeah.
which is cool, which I
Yeah.
don't understand because Paris is way cooler.
No, it's
But
not.
uh,
No,
but
no,
It's not
no,
the
uh,
no, no.
same.
I've got different feelings about that. Um, I actually I've had nothing but problems with Paris because they make fun of my accent, the Brooklyn accent and stuff, and order a Coca Cola and they
just
make
drink
fun.
water when you're in
That's what I
Paris,
got to
like
do, not
her.
order Coke. Um, but no, but I think if you really want to be in the business, you got to
Yeah,
be here and you got to mingle with people. And there's a lot of creative people here
yeah,
that you collaborate with and stuff. And so you can do stuff remotely,
yeah.
but if you really, really want to get somewhere, you got to be in it. It's LA, New York, or nowhere
Yeah, I do believe that.
and stuff. What's next for you other than moving to LA? What's your next project?
I have a track called "Kissing Boys." It's more like electro Ibiza style of track,
Right.
and I want to realize so my next music video with this track, and like I imagine um, like plenty of different people, all genders, all colors, like kissing each other with glitters and super cool style voguing, and yeah. Now I want
Okay.
to realize
Do you have a
this.
part for Larry?
Yeah. She needs an old bald guy in her next film.
I think definitely you should be one of the people kissing.
Oh yeah, that I could do. That I could do. But that's great. So, other than singing and dancing, what drives you? What else do you like to do?
I love to do graffiti also. So
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, I've started from my music I'm leaving right away. I started to have those sentences. I was like tagging like in the street of Paris, and actually one of those sentences worked so well. Like everybody, about every day there was like so many people like doing picture of it and dancing on it. It's my the phrase I wrote it was just dance motherfuckers
Okay.
okay.
with hearts like
All right.
and yeah every day like those people like thanks me and thanks for this good vibes and so cool.
Who influences you?
Big artists like and plenty of artists like I don't know Madonna, Lady Gaga, Elton John, Beatles, all the classics.
Those are old guys.
Yeah, I love old music.
You like all the old
I
guys.
love old music.
No, we're honored that you like old guys.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do. I mean, it's yeah.
I mean, I think the industry is changing quite a bit. Larry and I were having a discussion as far as marketing music nowadays. Now, are you on all the major platforms like on iTunes and on
Yeah.
Spotify and all of that? So, are you putting that out yourself, or do you go through the CD baby route kind of thing? Is that
Yeah.
kind of how you're doing it?
Yeah, for now, yeah. I'm for now. I'm doing like everything on my own. So, and yeah,
I think that's kind of the situation now is so great because when I started, when I first came to Los Angeles in 1993, I actually had to sign a deal with a record company because if I didn't, you become a local artist. You perform at a coffee shop, and you mentioned West Hollywood. That's where I was living,
okay.
and then you basically have nothing. So you had at that time we had record stores like Barnes and Noble, Borders. All these big. They were selling CDs. So I had to sign with a record company, which was part of Warner Music, and they were distributing my music. And I signed a bad deal because they're like, well, you want your music out, so we're gonna take most of your earnings, but you will be all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously that helped me, to get charting on Billboard.
Yeah.
And then obviously get a Grammy nomination and things like that. But now an independent artist is able to do that on her own.
Yeah.
right? Which is
Yeah.
great. Which if I had that opportunity, I would have done it myself.
Yeah.
Because major labels cannot really. I mean, they can do some things for you.
It used to be, technology came around 100 and some odd years ago, and because of it, it enabled companies to form labels to form and take
Yeah.
advantage of artists and artist rights. And now technology has come around again, and it's basically freed the artist. I mean, if you've got talent, you have the ability to reach an audience. I don't think that record companies go away, because I do think they provide a good marketing thing. But the days where they could take all your publishing and all the
Yeah.
things, those days are gone. They're not going to have that stuff anymore, and rightfully they shouldn't. You can't exploit the artist forever. And
Yeah, there are certain things that they can provide now that as an independent artist is very difficult to do. For instance, what they can do is when you're on Spotify, they can put you on some of the largest playlists on Spotify,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which you and I cannot do ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's something that if you go with Universal, Records or with Warner, they're able to put you with millions. Those playlists have millions of followers. The other thing that they can do is they can put you together with some of the high profile artists that they have. You mentioned Lady Gaga or somebody like that. You can be on tour with someone like Lady Gaga and get a lot of visibility. You can't do that on your own, because so major labels, there are certain things that they can do that we're not able to do. But if you actually hire your profile to a point where then they will come for you, because they see, wow, you've done all these
Right.
things on your own. In which Larry and I, we talked about this before. What happens is a lot of people don't want to take the time now to build themselves to that level, which I see that you are doing. And you're doing the right things by doing a lot of the work and doing videos and putting out your own music, because then you're kind of building your career yourself. Because they're not going to come for you unless you have a good following, right, Larry?
Yeah, I think now is the time talent rises to the top. There's nothing. If you have the talent, you have the drive, and you have the brains, you're going to be able to get out there and stuff. A lot of our audience have projects that they're doing for themselves. Your video is really, really good. How did you do that video? What did you shoot it with? How many people? And
So I shoot it in Paris, and it was kind of I shoot it with a red camera,
yeah.
and yeah, I really find it was really it's my first music video, but I contacted like all the people I knew in Paris, like models, because I was modeling also in Paris, so contacted some models, and I got the YouTube Space Studio of Paris to shoot some footage, and basically all the accessories and all the clothes were mine and my mother's. So yeah, and I did really like all the direction, all the designing.
How long did it take you from when you had the idea to the day that you said it's done?
Like maybe 6 months.
Wow.
Or something. Yeah.
Okay. So you put a lot into it.
Yeah.
It didn't just happen.
No, it takes time to do it right.
Yeah.
So why don't we go and check out this video now?
I think everybody should watch
I
it.
think let's go and check it out, and then when we come back, let's talk more about it, okay?
Last night I was looking around, lost of those guys pretending to stay by your side, but all they want is to get so high. You'll try to fit, digging the vibes. Watch out, your papas. These kind of drugs don't just drop by, and you know you're gonna lose your time.
video. Tell us, first of all about the song. I mean, it's so upbeat. It just has such a great vibe to it. Tell us a little bit about the making the song and how did you come up, with producing it? Did you produce it? And who was behind it? And also the video. I mean, the video is so stylish,
Yeah.
Larry. So tell us a little bit about the song first, and then how the
Yeah.
video came about.
So the song, actually, I wrote the lyrics and I co-composed the song with a friend, producer called Viel, and voilà, enfin, basically, yeah,
And it came together.
yeah,
And you
Wonderful.
produced the video?
yeah.
Wow. And you never produced anything before this one?
No.
or- Wow.
No, it's my first video.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Is producing something did you like that process or?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely want to do more. And, yeah.
No, I think, for somebody who's, doing her first music video, I think that was just tremendous. People don't realize how much work goes into
Yeah.
making, first of all, a song, and then when you do a video on top of it, that's just amazing. So,
Yeah, and plus to do all that stuff from writing the song to producing the thing, to being the talented dancer and stuff like that. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Tell us about the clothes and stuff there, because you did a bunch of costume changes and you
Yeah.
actually won an award for
Best accessories.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the clothes were my wardrobe. Even the men's, I found men clothes like the jeans, the pants and the jackets
The
were
jackets.
were mine. Yeah,
that's
it's kind of funny to put them all together and yeah.
well, that's so wonderful that
Yeah.
you were able to come up with all of this.
But I've learned a lot when I arrived in Paris with different producers, and it's why today, like, I'm producing all my songs, and with my laptop.
There you go.
Yeah, and yeah, I do like pop. This song is like more like a pop, dance, electro vibe. But I also like compose more pop acoustic songs where I'm at my piano, or more pop rock songs. I have different styles actually.
And you keep saying when you arrived in Paris. Where did you arrive from?
I was in Brussels because I was born in Brussels, so I'm Belgian and French, and yeah, I moved. I was in Brussels in an art school, so
Okay.
doing painting, and then I moved to Paris to do the actor studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
And family-wise, brothers, sisters?
Yeah,
or-
exactly. My mother was already in Paris, and blah.
I mean, this is it. This is what we want to see from young artists. That determination, the fact that you are so driven, and the fact that you're doing things. And I think that's a really big lesson, especially a lot of our audience. They are, they're into, entertainment. A lot of them want to do their own projects, and it's nice to see that you are driven. You're not waiting for someone to call you and say, "Hey, we're gonna do your video. We're gonna do your, project." You're actually doing it yourself. So congratulations on all your success. We're very, very happy to have you on the show.
And we want you to come back when you have your next one. ready?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
definitely, please.
Wait, I will give you this.
Oh,
This is my
oh, thank
stickers.
you.
Just
That's
there.
awesome. And
So-
and
Cute.
Yeah.
and we have something for you on the way out too.
Okay,
So
thank
definitely make sure. And so thank you very much for being on the show. I really appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
That is so
Great.
cute.
Yeah, but my goal, like my long time goal, is to be like the next Madonna, but with a Frenchy style. That's it, so yeah.
I'll be quiet.
Yeah. Let's. Yes. Then that's a big goal,
It's a
but
big goal.
I think it can be achieved. And Madonna was also a very, driven go getter
Absolutely.
kind of girl, and look where she went. So thank you again. Great to have you, and we'll hope to
Nice
see you
meet
next time.
Yay.
Okay.
And let before we go, Larry, I want to ask you, how can people get hold of you on
Yes.
social media, please? And we will be putting that on the comment section, but could you let
Yeah,
people know?
you can follow me on social media. My social media is LA Laura Paris. So everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank
Cool.
you for being here. Appreciate
you.
it. You're
All righty. Till next week.
Bye.
Take care, guys.